Welcome back to Good Day Atlanta. It's 9:43 now, and Rickey Smiley is known for making people laugh, be it on his radio show, on one of his TV shows, or in his stand-up routine. But now the comedian is opening up in a new memoir. It's called Stand By Your Truth and Then Run For Your Life. It's funny, it's touching, and revealing. I spoke with him recently about the book and being honored with a prestigious award. Rickey, it's so good to have you here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, what a pleasure.
I'm excited to be here.
We're excited that you're here. Got to know, why did you decide to write a memoir? Obviously, you've lived a very interesting life. So this probably just seemed like the next step for you.
Yeah, it was time. I've been in the business 28 years of stand-up comedy and raised a lot of kids, had a great career, had TV shows from BET to TV One, done a lot of things, you know, HBO, Apollo. So, you know, 28 years, almost 30 years in the entertainment. So people are like, why don't you write a book? Because nobody knows, you know, how I got to this point. Nobody knows my story. So I'm really excited about it.
Give us a little bit about what we will learn, because you're right. You know, we know you as the funny guy. We know you as the dad that we see on TV, but there's this whole other side of you that's the reason that you're where you are today and that you're, you know, the way that you are. So what are some things we'll learn?
Yeah, you know that I'm an activist, and, you know, I believe in, you know, civil rights and helping people, doing a lot of stuff in the community with the Rickey Smiley Foundation. And I'm a gunshot victim. I almost died. I was almost killed. And it's funny that I was on the elevator with the guy that shot me going to court.
Goodness gracious.
And just all of those deep stories and how this guy did 20 years and got out of prison only to get killed when he got out. And I passing by his funeral procession. It was just it's a lot of crazy, deep, and that's the chapter on forgiveness. You know, because I went to a parole hearing when he was about to get out after the 20 years. The book is not just about that. These are just some of the story, but that's the most interesting one, that just kind of have people. And
so you'd forgiven him. You were able to forgive him. That's amazing.
I went to a parole hearing trying to get him out of prison because I felt so bad for his mother. Here I am, have everything, have all of these TV shows, movies, and success, and you have a mother over here that don't have anything, that just only trying to get her only son out of prison. So I felt bad for her, so I was trying to, you know, help get him out of prison because he's done his time to move on. So stories like that, and then, you know, the children that I have taken in, which is what my docu-series on TV One is all about, and the stuff that we go through, and it's a message behind every chapter. So every story, there's a message that people can learn from.
Yeah, what was it like for you, almost having to relive a lot of these things to put this memoir together? What was this whole experience like for you?
It was a lot of tears because I went into some areas that I never talked about, never discussed before. So when we were writing the book, you know, it was a lot of times where I broke down and cried because, you know, when my grandmother passed, I had to perform that night. And because you couldn't cancel the show because their grandmother passed away too. They have cancer, their kids died. And sometimes you have to, even in your worst time, you have to put it aside and think of others and use that as a ministry to help you get through your pain. And when they told me that my other grandmother died, I was like a minute and a half of walking on stage to do 106 in Park.
Goodness gracious.
In New York. And you just had to suck it up. And you had to go out on stage and perform because that's what my grandmother would have wanted. So the way that Sharice and I just kind of laid these stories out, and it's just deep, and it's so personal, it's so real, and it's so, you know, we just didn't cut, we just went straight, you know.
It's raw.
Raw and unedited.
There's so much that we can learn about you, so it's neat that we get to hear these lessons from your own words. I want to mention the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. You've signed an extension for that.
I did.
Which is awesome. Congrats.
I did. Thank you. It's a great opportunity. It was said that I would only last on radio like a year because, you know, they say that comedians don't have discipline and structure. It worked out because I go to bed early and I'm up early naturally. And, you know, morning show, as you know, is a lifestyle, so you have to be in bed by 8:30, so you don't get to watch stuff on TV. You have to go to bed because you have to be up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, which just comes natural for me.
So you're a natural early bird.
Natural. My whole life. Raised by grandparents. Grandparents get up early like that. So, and we in bed by the time the sun set, you know. You know, after nightly news, it's time to go to bed.
Not everyone. That's exactly right. Got to mention this too. You received a Marconi Award this year. That's huge.
That's the Grammys.
That is huge.
That's the
yes.
Your boy. No, yeah, that's the Grammy. That's like the Oscars of radio.
It really is.
And I was up against like Sean Hannity, I think Steve Harvey.
How does it make you feel to be recognized in that way?
Yeah, it was awesome, and I didn't know that the award was that big until I won, because the next day social media went crazy, like, you won the Marconi Award. I'm like, yeah, I just thought it was like, just like a little award they give you at church.
It's not.
Yeah, most members,
Right.
biggest Sunday school
Best
class.
attendance. Yeah, no, it's
Right.
not.
It was
It's
a big
not.
deal, so I was like, oh, okay.
He is awesome. Rickey Smiley's memoir, Stand By Your Truth and Then Run for Your Life, is now on sale. Highly recommend it. Janet Jackson hasn't commented